What if I told you that personal growth isn't about setting goals, chasing success, or mastering endless routines? What if the truth about transformation is nothing like what you've been taught? Right now, as you're watching this, you might think you're improving yourself, creating a better version, rising to a higher level. But what if the entire model of growth you've been following is backwards? What if real change doesn't come from effort at all, but from alignment? The kind of alignment that bends reality around your state of being, not your actions. Because when you understand the laws that govern consciousness, you stop forcing, you stop chasing, you start creating from a different place. See, most people think manifestation is about attracting what you want. It's not. It's about becoming what you want. Quantum manifestation isn't wishful thinking. It's resonance. It's the science of vibration meeting the art of belief. And your life right now, in every detail, is showing you what frequency you're tuned to. Your relationships, your bank account, your mood, your daily experiences, they're mirrors. They're not random. They're not luck. They're reflection. Every outcome in your life is an echo of your current energetic signature. And until you shift that signature, nothing changes. Not really. Let me ask you something. How many times have you set a goal that felt exciting at first but fizzled out after a few weeks? How many times have you said you were ready for more money, more confidence, more love, but deep down you didn't believe it? You told yourself you did. You said the affirmations. You visualized the outcome. But there was a quiet voice in the background whispering, "Not me. Not yet." That voice is your frequency. And the universe doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you truly believe you are. That's the quantum truth behind manifestation. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you're a match for. Here's where personal growth enters the picture. Growth isn't about fixing yourself. It's about remembering who you already are beneath the programming. Every limitation, every doubt, every fear you carry, they're not signs that you're broken. They're signs that you've forgotten your power. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that effort equals worth, that struggle equals progress, that if you just push harder, grind longer, you'll finally become enough. But the quantum field doesn't operate on effort. It operates on coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs align, reality reshapes itself around you. That's not philosophy. That's physics. The first step is awareness. You can't change what you don't see. Most people live on autopilot, running old programs inherited from parents, teachers, culture. You wake up, react, repeat. You say you want abundance but operate from scarcity. You say you want love but protect yourself from being hurt. You say you want peace but feed the chaos with your thoughts. The universe doesn't judge. It mirrors. And every mirror in your life is showing you one thing, your vibration. That's why awareness is everything. Because the moment you see the pattern, you stop being controlled by it. You start creating with it. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people aren't growing. They're recycling. They're reliving the same stories with new faces and different settings. They think they're evolving, but they're just looping. Why? Because they never shift identity. Real transformation isn't about changing your circumstances. It's about changing your state of consciousness. The version of you that struggles and the version of you that thrives are both possibilities in the quantum field. But you can't experience the higher version while still identifying as the lower one. You have to choose differently. You have to become someone who no longer aligns with the limitations that once defined you. This is where the power of choice becomes everything. Not surface choice, not deciding to start a new habit on Monday. Real choice happens at the level of being. It's when you say, "I no longer identify with lack. I no longer vibrate in fear." It's not a statement. It's a shift. It's a new frequency, because every identity carries a vibration, and that vibration attracts the matching timeline. That's how the quantum field responds. It doesn't give you what you deserve. It gives you what you are. But here's the challenge. Your conscious mind says yes to change. Your subconscious mind says no, and the subconscious always wins. That's why you keep finding yourself in the same emotional cycles, the same self-sabotage patterns, the same disappointments dressed in different clothes. The subconscious runs on repetition and emotion. It doesn't care what you consciously want. It cares what you energetically embody. If you keep feeling unworthy, the field keeps delivering proof that you are. That's not punishment. That's feedback. The universe is always reflecting your state, not your statements. So how do you break that cycle? Not by fighting it, not by forcing affirmations you don't believe. You do it by changing the emotional frequency behind your beliefs. Awareness creates space. Presence changes the energy. Every time you become aware of a limiting thought and refuse to feed it with emotion, you weaken the program. Every time you choose gratitude instead of fear, love instead of control, You shift the signal you're sending into the field. That's real manifestation. Not forcing outcomes, but becoming the vibration that makes those outcomes inevitable. Personal growth isn't glamorous. It's not instant. It's not about constant positivity or pretending everything's fine. It's about honesty. Radical honesty. It's looking at the patterns you've created and saying, yes, I did this. Yes, I've been vibrating in lack. Yes, I've been waiting for something outside me to change how I feel inside. That's not self-blame. That's self-awareness. And self-awareness is the birthplace of transformation. Because once you see that you're the projector, not the screen, you stop trying to fix the movie. You start adjusting the lens. Here's what most people miss. The universe doesn't respond to your thoughts alone. It responds to the harmony between your thoughts and feelings. You can think abundance all day, but if you feel fear, lack, or doubt, that's the frequency that wins. You can't trick the field. You can't fake alignment. The energy doesn't lie. You're always broadcasting. Every emotion, every thought, every belief, it's all a signal. And that signal is sculpting your reality in real time. You're manifesting whether you know it or not. The question is, are you manifesting consciously or unconsciously? Quantum manifestation isn't about control. It's about coherence. You don't need to chase. You need to align. You don't need to force. You need to trust. The quantum field is infinite potential. Every version of your life exists simultaneously as possibility. The only thing that determines which version you experience is your vibration. That's it. You tune into it by the way you think, feel, and act in this moment. That's the secret no one tells you. You don't attract what you want. You attune to what you are. So ask yourself, who are you being right now? What frequency are you broadcasting? What story are you telling yourself about who you are and what's possible for you? Because until that story changes, your life can't. You can learn every technique, every manifestation ritual, every affirmation under the sun, but if your inner frequency doesn't shift, you'll keep looping. Reality doesn't change because you want it to. It changes because you've changed, and that's the essence of personal growth. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about remembering you were never limited to begin with. The power isn't out there. It's here, right now, waiting for you to align with it, waiting for you to stop waiting. The universe isn't testing you. It's responding to you, always. So the question isn't, how do I make my dreams happen? The real question is, how do I become the version of me that already lives them? That version already exists, right now, in this field. And the moment you match its vibration, the universe rearranges itself to mirror it back to you. Are you ready to test that? Are you ready to see what happens when you stop chasing and start aligning? Because this isn't theory. It's the mechanics of reality. And once you understand it, you'll never look at your life the same way again. Let's get honest. You say you want growth. You say you want abundance, peace, freedom. But what happens the moment things get hard? What happens when the universe doesn't give you what you expected? Do you trust the process? Or do you panic and start forcing again? This is where most people fail. They think manifestation is a one-time event. It's not. It's an ongoing conversation between your frequency and the field. And if you don't like the answer you're getting, you don't argue with reality. You adjust your signal. Everything is energy. You know that. But it's not enough to know it. You have to live it. The universe is responding to the emotion behind your energy. Not your words. Not your vision board. Not your goals. Your emotion. You can't say you're ready for a higher timeline while carrying the same fear that built the old one. That's why emotional mastery is the real key to quantum manifestation. Because emotion is energy in motion. And that energy is the frequency that programs your reality. Think about this. Every thought you think triggers a vibration. Every vibration sends a message to the field. That message becomes matter. That's literally what quantum physics shows us. Your consciousness interacts with the field. Your attention collapses potential into form. So when you focus on fear, you collapse fear. When you focus on gratitude, you collapse abundance. You are the observer, and the observer decides what becomes real. You've been doing this your whole life. The difference is now, you're going to do it consciously. Let's talk about energy. Low vibration feels heavy. It feels like resistance, anxiety, tension, doubt. High vibration feels light. It feels like clarity, flow, peace, joy. And here's the thing. You can't manifest peace from chaos. You can't attract love while vibrating in fear. You can't experience success while identifying as unworthy. The frequency mismatch blocks the flow. It's not that the universe is saying no. It's that you're not in tune. You're trying to pick up a signal on the wrong channel. So, the work isn't to force the outcome. The work is to shift the frequency. Every time you feel doubt, that's feedback. Every time you feel resistance, that's data. The emotion is showing you what you're broadcasting. Don't fight it. Don't suppress it. Observe it. Feel it. Then choose differently, because awareness without reaction is power. When you feel fear and stay conscious, you stop feeding it energy. You stop reinforcing that vibration. You start taking your power back. This is emotional alchemy. The ability to transmute dense emotions into lighter ones, not by pretending they don't exist, but by seeing through them. Fear is just energy asking to be moved. Guilt is just energy asking to be forgiven. Anger is just energy asking to be understood. When you meet those emotions with presence, they dissolve. They lose their charge. They stop controlling you. And the moment that happens, your vibration rises naturally. No forcing, no fake positivity. Just awareness doing what it's meant to do, transform. Now, let's get real about resistance. You say you're manifesting abundance, but part of you doesn't feel safe having more. You say you want love, but part of you still believes it's not available. You say you want peace, but part of you still thinks chaos means control. Those parts don't disappear just because you say affirmations. You have to meet them. You have to talk to them. You have to bring them home. Because those parts are running the subconscious show. And the subconscious creates 95% of your reality. Here's a truth most people ignore. The universe isn't withholding anything from you. You are. You're the one blocking flow by staying attached to your limitations. You're the one repeating stories that no longer serve you. You're the one vibrating in old versions of yourself. The quantum field is infinite. It's waiting for you to release the identity that says you can't. The moment you do, energy moves. Circumstances shift. Synchronicities appear. Opportunities unfold. That's not luck. That's alignment. And here's where the paradox comes in. You have to let go of needing it. The moment you attach to the outcome, you create resistance. The moment you say, I'll be happy when, you're telling the field, I'm not happy now. And the field mirrors that back. More waiting, more not yet. Because the frequency of wanting is lack. The frequency of having is gratitude. That's why gratitude is the highest frequency you can live in. It signals to the universe, it's already done. And the universe says, okay, so practice this. Instead of asking for what you want, start thanking the field for what's already here, even if it hasn't shown up yet, especially then. Because that gratitude pulls the potential into form faster than any visualization ever could. Gratitude collapses the waiting time between intention and manifestation. It tells the quantum field that your identity has already shifted, and once identity shifts, reality follows. Let's talk about the mind. Your thoughts are powerful, but they're not the driver. They're the steering wheel. Emotion is the engine. Belief is the key. If your thoughts are focused, but your beliefs contradict them, nothing moves. You can't drive a car with the brakes on. Belief releases the brakes. It tells the subconscious, this is safe. Once something feels safe, it becomes possible. And once it's possible, it becomes probable. That's how the subconscious and quantum field work together. You might wonder, how do I change belief? Through repetition and emotion. The subconscious learns through feeling, not logic. When you pair new thoughts with elevated emotion, joy, gratitude, love, you rewrite the program. You're literally reconditioning your frequency. Over time, the old version of you fades. The new version stabilizes. You become the signal of what you once only imagined. But it takes awareness. You can't raise your frequency while staying in the same environment of fear. You can't grow while surrounded by energy that drains you. You have to curate your field. What you consume, who you talk to, how you spend your time. Every interaction is an energetic exchange. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Your reality is built from that energy. Quantum manifestation isn't magic. It's mechanics. Energy responds to energy. You emit vibration through thought and emotion. The field reflects that vibration back as circumstance. That's it. But most people complicate it because they're addicted to struggle. They believe growth requires suffering. It doesn't. Growth requires awareness. Once you stop identifying with struggle, you realize everything you thought you had to chase is already available. You just weren't tuned in. So, let's make this practical. Right now, close your eyes. Think of the version of you who already has what you desire. Don't imagine them far away. Feel them as you. Feel their confidence, their calm, their certainty. Feel their peace. That's alignment. That's coherence. Stay there. Because the longer you can hold that frequency, the faster reality bends around it. You're not visualizing to get something. You're remembering that you already are it. This is the turning point. You stop living from the memory of your past and start living from the memory of your future. You stop reacting to what is and start responding to what you're becoming. You stop asking when it will happen and start knowing that it already has. That's not delusion. That's the physics of consciousness. The field responds to certainty, not hope, not wishful thinking. Certainty. You can't fake certainty, but you can practice it. Every time you choose faith over fear, you're strengthening that muscle. Every time you hold your frequency when life tests you, you're signaling the field that you're ready for more. The test isn't punishment, it's proof. Proof that your new vibration can hold itself under pressure. And when it does, reality has no choice but to match it. The field always says yes. The only question is, what are you asking it to agree with? Your fear or your faith? Your doubt or your knowing? Your limitation or your potential? The answer determines everything. So here we are. You've learned that growth isn't about adding more. It's about removing what's in the way. You've learned that the universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your energy. You've learned that the future isn't something you chase. It's something you align with. The question now is simple. What are you going to do with that understanding? Because knowledge without embodiment is useless. You can know everything about vibration, alignment, quantum law, but if you keep reacting to life from fear, nothing changes. The real work starts when you decide to live as the frequency you say you believe in. That's where transformation stops being theory and starts being reality. The world is full of people who talk about manifestation but live in survival. People who know the language of energy but still operate in fear. They say they trust the universe but they panic when things fall apart. They want change, but they keep rehearsing the same emotions that built their old life. That's not alignment. That's contradiction, and contradiction keeps you stuck in neutral. So how do you move forward? You simplify. You stop chasing, stop fixing, stop trying to force the universe into your timeline. You surrender, not as defeat, but as cooperation. Because the universe is already working for you. Every challenge, every delay, every breakdown is data. Feedback, showing you where your vibration still doesn't match your desire. The moment you see that, everything shifts. Life stops being against you and starts being for you. Here's the truth. The quantum field isn't personal. It doesn't play favorites. It doesn't reward good behavior or punish bad. It mirrors. That's it. It reflects what you are being. If you're being scarcity, it mirrors scarcity. If you're being abundance, it mirrors abundance. The field doesn't care what you want. It only knows what you're vibrating. And your vibration is determined by one thing, your state of consciousness right now. So let's talk about that. Consciousness isn't something you gain. It's something you remember. It's always been here. The awareness behind the thoughts. The silence beneath the noise. The stillness that watches it all. When you drop into that awareness, even for a moment, your vibration rises. You stop being a character in the story and remember, you're the author. And once you remember that, you stop trying to rewrite the past. You start writing the now. That's real manifestation. You stop chasing results and start becoming resonance. You stop needing proof because you realize the feeling itself is the proof. The emotion of gratitude is abundance in motion. The emotion of love is connection in motion. The emotion of peace is alignment in motion. When you live in those states consistently, the field has no choice but to rearrange itself around them. That's law. That's coherence. That's power. But here's what you have to understand. You can't fake frequency. You can't pretend to feel gratitude while secretly resenting your situation. The universe doesn't hear your words. It feels your vibration. That's why honesty is everything. When you're sad, be sad. When you're angry, feel it. When you're afraid, face it. But don't build a home there. Move through it. Energy only becomes stuck when you resist it. Feel it fully, then release it. That's how emotion becomes motion again. Now let's talk about trust. Trust isn't blind. It's not passive. It's active awareness that life knows what it's doing even when you don't. Trust means you stop micromanaging the universe. You stop needing constant confirmation that things are working. You stop checking the results like a gardener digging up seeds to see if they've grown yet. You plant the frequency and let it grow. You nurture it with consistency, not desperation. You act from alignment, not anxiety. That's real trust. Every time you doubt, you interrupt the signal. Every time you worry, you scramble the frequency. Every time you question the process, you delay the outcome. Because the field can't deliver what you keep doubting. You say, I want this. But your energy says, I don't believe it. And the field mirrors the stronger signal every single time. That's why faith isn't blind, it's magnetic. It's certainty in motion. And certainty is the most powerful frequency you can emit. You've probably noticed this in your life. The moments when things flowed effortlessly weren't when you were obsessing over details. They were when you were relaxed, confident, certain. You didn't chase the outcome. You became the outcome. That's the essence of creation. You don't try to make it happen. You allow it to unfold. Because creation is an effort. It's alignment. The river doesn't struggle to flow. The sun doesn't struggle to shine. Nature doesn't try to manifest. It simply expresses its design. And so do you when you stop resisting it. Now let's bring this closer to home. You're not just manifesting money or relationships or peace. You're manifesting your state of being. You're creating yourself over and over again through every thought, every emotion, every choice. You are both the sculptor and the clay, the observer and the observed, the universe experiencing itself through the form you call you. And when you finally realize that, life stops being something that happens to you. It becomes something that happens through you. That's why alignment is the ultimate goal, not achievement, not perfection, alignment. Because when you're aligned, everything else follows naturally. The right people appear. The right opportunities unfold. The timing feels effortless. You don't have to control anything because you've become the frequency that attracts everything. That's the paradox of manifestation. The less you try, the more it flows. The less you chase, the faster it comes. The less you need, the more you receive. Because need is resistance and alignment is surrender. Here's the practice. Every morning, before you reach for your phone, before you step into the noise of the world, take a moment. Ask yourself, what frequency am I choosing today? Not what do I want, not what do I need, but who am I being? Choose the frequency first. Gratitude, peace, confidence, love. Hold it in your body. Feel it until it becomes real. Then carry it into your day like a field around you. That field will attract the experiences that match it. That's not wishful thinking. That's physics in motion. And when challenges come, and they will, don't see them as proof that manifestation doesn't work. See them as proof that it does. The universe tests your frequency not to punish you, but to stabilize it. It's saying, are you sure you're ready for this new timeline? Are you sure this frequency can hold under pressure? When you stay aligned through the test, you graduate. You level up. You become the vibration that no longer collapses under chaos. That's mastery. Mastery doesn't mean you never feel fear again. It means fear no longer runs you. It means you feel it and stay conscious. You notice it, breathe through it, and choose differently. You become the awareness behind the emotion, not the emotion itself. And that awareness is what rewires your field. That's what makes you magnetic. That's what turns intention into manifestation. So this is where it all comes together. You are the frequency. You are the creator. You are the observer collapsing potential into form. Every thought, every feeling, every breath is shaping the field around you. You're not separate from the universe. You are the universe expressing itself as you. And when you finally stop waiting for signs, waiting for permission, waiting for perfect conditions, you'll see that everything you were searching for was always inside. You are not here to chase outcomes. You are here to remember your power, to expand consciousness through experience, to live as the vibration that transforms the world around you without effort. That's the real manifestation. Not creating things, creating states. Because from the right state, everything else follows. So ask yourself one last question. Who are you choosing to be now? Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Because this moment is the only point of power that exists. This is where reality bends. This is where timelines shift. This is where the field listens. The future isn't waiting for you. It's waiting on you. Your next level isn't coming. It's here, waiting for you to match it, waiting for you to align with it, waiting for you to remember that you've been the source all along. And when you finally do, when you finally stop searching and start being, you'll see it clearly. You were never trying to manifest a better life. You were remembering the power that was always yours.